Hi, and welcome to Two Tired Teachers.
Today we're going to be talking to you about Craters of the Moon National Monument and Preserve in Idaho.
One thing we want to talk to you about is that these craters, the ranger who talked to us said they're not formed from a volcano like you think of one spewing the lava up, but they're caused by a riff.
Fissures where the lava comes up through the cracks.
Yeah. And so that's what created, or what they assume created this. It's actually just a lava field.
And this, in a sense, was sort of like Capitol Reef in that you're actually driving as you're on Highway 20 there, I believe it is. You are actually driving through part of the National Preserve
before you ever pay a fee to go in around the loop.
Right. Then you can pull into the visitor center, and then you go through a fee station, and there is a scenic loop.
Yes.
Now, when we were there, there were some trails that were open. You do need to get a permit if you're going to do some of the more adventurous trails, but those were all closed. The cave areas and things like that were closed because of ice and potential hazards there. And so, but still, just being able to get out and walk among these, if you can't get out and walk, there was one loop, it was
Devil's Orchard, I think, and it was a half mile from where you start to where you get back.
Yes, Devil's Orchard Natural Trail. It is an interpretive trail, and it is a paved half-mile loop. So anyone with mobility issues, that one is completely doable. But even just driving that little loop was interesting.
Yes.
And the formations that you got to
all
see.
All kinds of formations. You'd see some cones. You'd see...
And then seeing some plant life. And even little chipmunks out among there. We asked the ranger, you go through the fee station before you get to the campground?
Yes.
I'll be honest, I think some of the best views are in the campground.
And what I like about the campground is they use some of that lava to separate the campsites. They're not going to be huge campsites. Some were bigger than others, but those lava rocks just really kind of set it off and set the mood.
Yeah, and I really liked the little campground. I mean, it had a total of 42 sites, and we drove through the main loop of that, but there's one whole section there. They recommend, there's a little road that goes off between campsite 16 and 33, and it says it's not recommended for any large vehicles down there.
There were many sites actually that we could have fit in, and had we known that it was first come first served right now, we might have gone on there. I don't know how we would have possibly done it after the Sawtooth Mountains,
and we have a video about that. But I am going to put up a map of the campsites, and then also I will put up the list of information where it gives the dimensions of the campsite,
which is always helpful.
And so,
in the regular season, it is $15 per night or $7.50 with the senior pass, but this wasn't the regular season. Water wasn't turned on yet, so it was only $8 or $4 with the senior pass.
We definitely would have done that had we realized that was going to be the situation, but we couldn't exactly get a hold of anybody by the time we needed to know when we finished with Sawtooth Mountains. But this was a nice stop. It's something very unusual, and if you're going to the Sawtooth Mountains, then this is just right down the road, and I highly recommend you stop and see it.
But if you can't, when you start seeing little black rocks along the road, you're seeing part of the lava flow.
And they even had a couple of turnoffs, vista points there on the highway. So, anyway, it was a nice stop, and if you know, it didn't. You can spend as long or as short there as you really want to, I guess. Thanks for watching Two Tired Teachers.